the 2K Sports pregame show.
And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Boston Celtics going up against the New York Knicks. For New York, they struggled in this matchup last season. Only one win for them through 4 games. They'd like to make a statement tonight.
Everyone in their seats here in Boston to watch the Celtics on the home court. With Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, Kevin Harlan. And we have a surprise guest, folks. Here he is, the 4-time All-NBA first-teamer, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, NBA champion, which is probably most happy about, most proud of, Kevin Garnett. Thanks so much for joining us for the game.
Man, thank you for having me, man. Shout out to 2K. You know what it is, 2K? Right. OBF all day, you know, yeah.
Now, you can't play 2K while we're doing 2K.
No, we can't play it right now, but I'm waiting. Shout to Shaq on this cover. Shout to my dog Shaq. That's dope. That's what's up. Gas Shaq is on there. Right. I love that. That's what's up. These are deserving, man. That's what's up.
Looking at Boston, they want to turn it around after the loss to the 76ers in Philadelphia and just couldn't finish strong. They took a 4-point loss in that one.
And that was a shocker. Hard to believe that they dropped the ball, so to speak, on that one, and probably a tough pill for them to swallow.
They were the clear favorite coming in. They seemed like a racehorse that was just waiting for the gate to open, but it just did not happen.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, Kristaps Porzingis was taken with the 4th pick in 2015, and he was considered a project then. But he's shown himself ready, and part of that has been his mentality. He said, they thought I was afraid, but that's not who I am. I'll never back down from anybody. If I want to succeed, I can't be scared of anybody. I've got to be fearless out there on the court. Kevin?
Thanks, G8. And what's scary is Porzingis is only going to get better. That kind of fearlessness will help him in the long run. And KG, so great to see you. It takes me back. It really does.
A lot of people don't know, man. We got real original ties, man.
Back to the beginning.
95, man. My original man right here.
Here he was, man. You were a thrill a minute, I'll tell you that.
Man,
a thrill a minute.
Now look at us. 21 years later, dog. Man, can you believe
We're still
this?
standing.
We are. They haven't caught on yet. Don't say it. Shh.
Okay.
Keep it between.
Okay. And so off the tip, it's Boston. So the New York starting 5, Porzingis and Hernangomez are together down low. Hardaway Jr. and Melo are the wings, and it's Ntilikina in at the point. And there's the pass to Anthony. And Kevin, there was such a whirlwind around your trade to the Celtics from the Timberwolves. What were your thoughts and emotions at that time?
You know what? Being in Minnesota at that time, it was very difficult for me. I didn't necessarily want to leave. I had a goal to bring the city a championship, and I felt like I could do that. Nothing worse than when you have to deal with the reality of change. I'm not the one for change, even though I do know in order to process or progress better, you have to embrace some change. So with the help of my friends from Chauncey Billups, Teron Lue, I sat and I thought through it with those guys who had been through the trade process and talking to me, getting me to understand my options. And once I understood all my options, then I just, it was about what was best for me and my family.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot to consider. On the clock. Here's Hernangomez off the left rim and out.
Something affected him on that shot, and it wasn't the defense.
Outside Irving. Morris with a screen on Anthony. Here's Smart. Boston again missing. And Kev, you had a voice in where you'd go from Minnesota. How did all that play out?
I sat with my wife, and we all kind of went through it and thought Boston was the best situation. Paul and I had great bones and great history. that I don't think the world really knew. We have been knowing each other since 14, 15. I played with each other younger, and I had a chance to play with Cole, but that really didn't go through. A lot of people don't know I had a chance to play with Steve Nash also, but I wanted to play with Stoudemire, and that wasn't the case. So I decided to go to Boston. Ray and I knew each other from South Carolina, and then the Rondo piece was a huge piece for me. I had followed the youngster in his first year and just watched his growth a little bit, even though I was in the Western Conference. And then when I got to Boston, I knew they had good pieces like Kendrick Perkins and Tony Allen. I wasn't aware of the Big Baby piece yet, and then I wasn't sure on the Posey part. And then all of a sudden it started to come together. Eddie House, and then all of this, and
great names.
I mean,
great names.
Just all alphas, all guys able to stand up and speak for themselves and be articulate, and all different facets, and very similar facets of who we are personality-wise. And a lot of people just don't know that team there. I don't think another coach could have coached that team other than Doc Rivers.
And Kevin, you played for some great coaches, but is there any coach you would have been interested to work with that just didn't get a chance to? Say, Greg Popovich or Phil Jackson.
Those are great coaches. I've had very, very little time with those guys.
Maybe in all-star games and things like that.
I have. But, when you do all-star games, you let yourself go. You open up yourself to try to, be there and be present with the guys. Yes. Open up, hey, what's up? What's been up with you? How's the year for y'all? Y'all playing well. We're going to beat y'all when we see y'all, blah, blah, blah. But, you're very cordial. And, you're not talking too much about X's and O's. But you do share perspectives. You do share, philosophies. Pop is a great mind. I had a chance to sit with him a couple times. Phil's a great mind. Phil's super deep and loves the philosophy of. I haven't had a lot of time with those guys. Doc Rivers, shout to Doc, and I know he doesn't get a lot for his philosophies, but he's very enriched with philosophies and styles and bringing teams together and trying to make sure that guys stay connected, stimulated. He would always tell us, never get bored with the process.
Wow, that's so intriguing. Interesting to hear. And here is Anthony after Gordon Hayward hitting the three. Nice work there coming off the screen.
And Anthony, really one of the most confident jump shooters, an elite level scorer who gets plenty of opportunities.
Kevin, it's been said that some guys hated to play against you. Is there someone you hated to play against for whatever reason?
No.
You enjoyed every jump?
I enjoyed every competitor, because on the offensive side of the ball, I was always challenged when to use counters or what type of moves I was using. I took a lot of pride in having a variety of moves for different types of defenses, and each guy is going to bring out a different side of the offense in you. And then turning around and then being that defender and being able to guard the post player or the post or whatever the post player was or whatever. Rasheed Wallace was always a tough guard. Tim Duncan was always a tough guard. Zach Randolph was always a tough guard. Chris Webber, Dice, Karl Malone.
Great names. And it's the Celtics ball. It's a 12-2 run here. Good pace. On its way from Hayward for two. Again, the miss by Hayward. Knicks trail by 8. Kevin, one of the biggest moments of your career, the 2008 championship with the Boston Celtics. Talk about the camaraderie among that group of players.
Kev, I can tell right away that we had something special getting together right in September, right before the year started. We started working out together. We started sharing concepts and how we saw the game. Right away, I can tell that the appetite was there. 1 through 15 guys. It's very rare that you're able to get that many guys in that early. As soon as Danny, signed guys, we were in, we were lifting, we was just, around each other, understanding each other, playing a lot. We was playing a lot. Then, fortunately, we was able to go off to Rome that year. Rome was a good distraction for us because we had to lean on one another.
To bond a little bit.
Seriously, because, none of us spoke Italian. If we wanted to go somewhere, we was always 3-4 deep, and no one was asking and no one was telling us to be with each other. We were just naturally being with each other so much that whenever you saw us to the restaurants, 9, 10 of us, that carried over to practice. Then we got 2 teams that are very competitive. Doc's letting us be who we want to be, and he's letting us play with passion, and our practices are over the top aggressive, and to the point where it's too competitive to where he has to come in and separates us and, take the balls and cut the lights out and get us out of here. To the point where he just lets us go. Now we start bringing concepts to him. he started trusting out IQs. Now we start putting a couple things on defense. Thibodeau's in there. He's implementing stuff. When this flow is going like this, you don't know that you're going to win it all, but you know you're on the waves of something special. Right. And that's how that felt.
That free throw good from Hayward. Hayward hits them both.
And once he gets into a groove like that, you can just count him.
Knicks trail by 10. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
And so New York calls timeout. They're first. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
And I feel like the defense was one step behind all night. I mean, they never made the adjustments to string together a few stops.
Al Horford, a player who doesn't dominate any one category as a big man, but KG has very few weaknesses. He's fundamentally sound.
He's very effective, man. Al Horford knows what he is. He's very solid with what he does, sets great picks. He's able to create space between him and his defender. If you watch him, he's gotten better with his shot. He's gotten better with his three-point shot. He's able to shoot it at rapid style now. Being in Atlanta, being in a kind of a system where he was able to play kind of 4 guys, 1 in, and he would be more perimeter. He's really developed a perimeter shot now. It's really helped him. Now he's able to put the ball on the floor with a shot fade and go to the basket, make, other passes to guys. Really helped that whole system up there. Boston is a threat, but without Al Horford's play, his inside play, and his, able to go out and hit threes, they're not the same team without him.
Quality person, too.
Absolutely,
yes.
Man. No better locker room leader. He's one of these guys that, when you talk about men, you want to know that men can stand up and speak like men. He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that's going to put on the table, and we are going to be in here speaking as men as it should be.
And KG, you're retired from the game now, and you're stepping into the broadcast business a little bit now, aren't you?
Man. You see me?
How do you like it?
You know what? Area 21 is something that is authentic. It's me. I'm having a great time watching the games. It's really cool being a fan now. I can root for people I want to root for. I don't have to worry about preparing and who I'm a guard, and I'm getting the tea. So you know what? It's a great time. It's work. It's not just you go on there and you have a bunch of fun. We actually get some things done, but we have a great time.
You're a natural.
Hey, Kev, listen, watching you, being around you, man, the great, rest in peace to Craig, Ernie, Charles, all these great influences, man, has definitely helped. Not just me, but our younger generations of broadcasters, man. It's totally, I didn't see this being my lane, but I'm having fun with it.
Doing a great job. And Kev, you think of the great ones. You, Kobe, Jordan.
Timmy,
yeah, how about him? They worked harder than anybody else, Kevin.
And what you learn is that the similarity or the parallel that you all have is an inner animal that you never speak about. We're all a little off. We're all a little dark, but that's what pushes you through pain. That's what pushes you through tough moments. When someone says you can't, when someone says this is not possible, this is unreal. No one's ever done it. That's the moment you're looking for. The moment someone told Kobe that he couldn't get over 50, 60, something Jordan couldn't do, he was driven in that. And if Phil wouldn't have stopped him, he probably would have reached 100 points.
He probably would have, yeah.
He did Will Chamberlain a favor. And that's just real. He was in that type of mode. We all share that passion. We all share that drive. And the ones that have that inner darkness, we all understand.
It's like a split personality, huh?
It's almost like another level.
Yeah.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard. I tell you, Ntilikina has his head on a swivel, always looking to find the open teammate.
And Kevin, welcome to the 2K team. I didn't realize how much you love NBA 2K.
Oh, man, 2K is always loud, man. I'm a super fan. Man, this game is going all over the place, bro. Like, seriously, like... I'm geeked to see what's next, man. They got everything down. I'm sitting here watching all the little small intangibles that come with the game. I'm watching the game grow. I'm watching how better players are getting. I'm watching the online play, man. It's lit. It's lit. I can't wait to see this.
The Knicks shooting their first free throws of the night. And he makes the first. So Boston going with almost an entire new group here. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Horford. Tatum comes in for Gordon Hayward. Brown, he's checked in for Marcus Smart. And Terry Rozier subbed in for Irving. So New York going with almost an entire new group here. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Hernan Gomez. Kuzminskis comes in for Porzingis. Lee's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Baker in for Ntilikina. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Kevin, when you played, we all know how intense you were, how much you cared. That, to me, was the thing that you cared so much about the product, about your team, about the game. But some people have said that maybe there was a streak of you that was mean is maybe not the right word, but you were overly aggressive. But I don't know how you could have played any differently than that.
I call it dialed in. You know, I like to think that if you're trying to accomplish something, then, you know, I only know one way to accomplish something. You go at it with everything you have.
Yes.
You go to dominate it and take it over. You don't go at something lightly.
Can't walk through the park with this game,
not at all. Not at all. And this game is full of talented elites. Night in, night out, you're playing someone that can typically go for 50 easy.
So true. Just 4 to shoot. New York, no good that time either. Boston leading by 6. Kevin, what a lot of fans don't get to see is all the work players do behind the scenes at home, before games, after games, on off days. Can you talk a little bit about that? Getting your body ready from the end of one game to play the next game. I mean, I've seen it, but you talk about it.
Yeah, the wellness starts right after you stop playing. The minute you come off the court, you're iced. You know, you got to do progressions where right after the game you shower. Obviously, you got to get massages. You got to get some type of wellness on your legs, just because you're running so much. People don't know that you have to lift weights. You know, when we was in Boston, we lift every other day. We had a strenuous strength program. Shout out to Bidu. Brian Dew, who was our strength coach up there, never let us get a day off. And if you didn't lift weights, then we find you as a players find you. Because it's important for you to come in here and be strong. We need everybody to be as strong as they can be. So you have to lift. And then actually, you know, you practice. But after practice, you have to put time into your own personal game.
Right. So much goes into it. It's amazing. And so he makes both from the line.
Oh, the fearlessness by Rozier, that's what helps him earn the trip to the stripe.
Kevin, coming out of high school, you were relatively mature for your age, at 17, turning 18, but do you ever regret not trying college and just seeing what that experience would have been like? I mean, it's such a long time ago, but you've had some chance probably to get some perspective on both sides of that story.
You know what, Kev, I look at it like the unknown is the unknown. Obviously, I've had friends that went to college. Some of my best friends went to college. And I think I've kind of lived it through them a little bit. Listen, when you have responsibility early in life.
Which you did.
Which I did.
Yes.
And, you know, so from a mature level, things that interest me are not that interesting as you get older, especially when you have to deal with a vigorous schedule of an NBA schedule. I wasn't able to, you know, be the 17, 18-year-old to chill, have, you know, lean on the parents a little bit, be able to be at home, you know, coming home through the weekends. You know, I had a real life that I was responsible for, and I was growing something. I was building something. You know, I was trying to not just be a young player in our league, but a young businessman, wanting to establish something for myself, my friends, my family. You can't do those things thinking like a normal 17, 18-year-old. You're taking pieces from grown men around you all the time. You're around people who need something all the time. At some point, you have to put all this together. You have to make it work for you. And you have to put your spin on it and for how it works for you and your brand. And you have to be innovative with that. You have to be creative with that. You have to have a vision.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot to consider. Now here's Anthony. Jason Tatum missing his last shot.
And Melo is highly explosive, nailing shots left and right. The D has got to get it out of his hands.
Rozier kicks to Morris. They set the pick. Pass to Baines. Back to Morris. Taken away by Anthony. And here we go with Anthony running it up the court. A pull-up. And it's Anthony again missing. The Celtics with the lead. There's 37 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Stolen by O'Quinn. Pass to Baker. A finish. A huge slam. The perfect end of the fast break.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
And how about the explosiveness he shows, going from the offensive to the defensive end in a blink.
And there's the bucket from Tatum.
And there's another aspect of his game, the ability to work off the screen. Give this guy any kind of space, and he's going to torch you.
Baker kicks to O'Quinn. Here's Kuzminskis. They get it back and count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
I mean, he is just demoralizing his opponent right now on the backcourt. They didn't want anything to do with him on that possession, almost like they were just giving up on the play.
His dominance on the boards is really putting them on their heels. They want no part of this man out there tonight.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. Here's Rozier with 1 on the clock. Carmelo Anthony getting it done for the New York Knicks. What an amazing quarter. There was absolutely no stopping him. And we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And looking at what we've seen from the Knicks so far, what do you guys think?
Just playing suffocating defense. That's been the difference here for them.
And really, for the whole first quarter, they've maintained their intensity. Let's see how long they can sustain it.
New York shooting well. They're at 45%. And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the court for the Celtics, Morris is out there with Aaron Baines. Then it's Tatum. Then there's Brown. And it's Rozier in at the 1 spot. Kevin, when you entered the draft, no player had made the jump from high school to the NBA in 20 years. And what were your emotions when your name was called number 5 overall?
Oh, man, I remember that. It was
17 years old.
17, just turning 18 at the time. I was in like a whirlwind, to be honest. A lot of people don't know it's a lot of stuff that goes up into the draft. You know, things that I wasn't aware of. You're training twice a day. You know, you're trying to get ready for the combine. You're trying to get ready for pre-draft. You got to do workouts. This is all new to me. On top of still going to high school, trying to, you know, graduate and stuff. So I figured it out. I hustled and I bustled and I juggled a bunch of different things. But once your name is called, it's almost like the culmination. It all comes together. It's a special moment for just you and your family and your loved ones and ones around you. And when my name was called, it felt like the world had stopped and everything was going very slow.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Now let's check out the rebounds and where they're coming from. Here's a breakdown showing the front court and the back court rebounding numbers for the Celtics.
And it's been the bigs doing most of the work on the glass, and really no surprise there. That's what you pay those guys for, to control that paint and haul in those misses.
No good on the free throw. Well, the fans out there watching this, Kev, can you talk about why it's so incredibly difficult to win an NBA title, to become a champion? Why is it such a tough process?
Well, just imagine having a goal and you're not pursuing the goal by yourself. You know, just say you and somebody else.
Relying on somebody else.
Relying on somebody else, okay? So let's just say you and someone are doing something, walking up a hill. Y'all getting ready to go walk up a hill. Well, the speed at which you want to walk at might be different from the other person. And what you realize about when you're trying to reach any goal is that you have to be connected. You have to be understanding of, we're going to walk up it together like at this speed, like this. We're going fast, we're going slow. It has to be a great level of communication and understanding. At the same time, you have to have the same work ethic, because you have to understand that you're together. And you don't get to go at this level and leave someone behind. You have to actually, you got to pull them, you got to keep up, whatever it is. All this goes into trying to win.
It sure does. That's right. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Celtics coach Brad Stevens is known for getting the best out of his players. He said every NBA player has an elite strength. Some of them have 10 of them. Those guys are the very best in the league, right? But every one of them is here for a reason. There are times when you can really soar with that skill. Kevin?
And that's why Stevens is already one of the best coaches in the league, David. You've talked about him for a long time, getting maximum results from every one of his players. New York shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game. That free throw good from Anthony. And both free throws good for Anthony. Celtics trail by 5. Kevin, you were always known as wanting to play and always wanting to practice. You were a gym rat. What did you do when a coach would ask you maybe to take a breather? Let's sit out this game. Let's rest up. Would you welcome that? Would you just say, I'll let you know when I can't go? Or how would you handle that situation?
You know what? I've always asked the coach to respect the way I get ready for games. I've always asked him to respect the way I approach the game. I've always asked the coach to respect me and my expertise in knowing my body. I'm very, very vocal. Listen, if one person needs rest, and it's me, I know how to raise my hand. I know how to say I need some rest. But, you know, I'm a person who likes to push through a lot of things. I'm a person who understands rest, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I'm a person who understands that practice makes perfect. And if I can work on something for as long as I can to make something better, because I know at the end when I need it, especially when I used to call it dial up. When I call, I need the answer.
Oh, you gotta love Rozier. Skying up to the dunk. Really seizing the opportunity and capitalizing with this tremendous leap in the building.
Now here's Lee. He's coming off a 16-point game against Detroit. Back to O'Quinn. Anthony kicks to O'Quinn. Just 4 to shoot. Picked by O'Quinn from downtown. Baker with the bucket. Baker's got a couple of three-pointers in the second for the Knicks. Jaylen Brown is out of UC Berkeley. He has sought out the mentorship of greats like Isaiah Thomas, the original Isaiah Thomas, the first Isaiah Thomas. How key is that for young players, you think, Kevin, to tap into your knowledge? Talk to an Isaiah Thomas or a Shaq.
It's important, man. The OGs have the knowledge. You know, we like to call it the YGs, this younger generation. And what you get from an OG is that he's going to give you stuff that intangibles, things parents, relatives, family can't give you, things that go in the locker rooms, things that, you know, that helps you prepare. When you get knowledge like this, you have to apply it. You have to use it to the best of your ability. More importantly, you have to see how it fits you. You know, you'll get some advice from a great, and at some point you have to see how it relates to you and your life. And then, and we like to say not only the way you give back, but the way you pay an OG back is that when you become an OG, you see a YG, you give them those same jewels that some OG gave you at one point.
And when you take a look at that shot chart, the amount of misses lately, really unbelievable.
Man, this is a joke, right? I mean, there's been some glimpses of hope, but they've been few and far between.
And a new group in for the Celtics. Al Horford, he's checked in for Aaron Baines. Hayward comes in for Marcus Morris. Marcus Smart's checked in for Brown. And Irving subbed in for Rozier. And then for New York, Porzingis, he's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. Tim Hardaway Jr. comes in for Anthony. And it's Ntilikina in for Baker. Kevin, of all the people you've faced, who is the toughest guy for you to score against down low? We'll stick that geography. Who is the toughest to score against down there?
Listen, I know a lot of people. I've always said Rasheed Wallace. I've always said Tim Duncan. They're probably the two that brought a different level of play out of me. But shout to Cliff Robinson, man. Cliff Robinson, I don't know if people know this, but Cliff Robinson, man. Cliff Robinson was one of the better defenders in the post. He was very strong. He was very long. He didn't go for any counters. He was very disciplined. He was well prepared because he was a veteran. The refs let him get away with a lot, touching and grabbing. He knew when to be physical in some positions. He knew to do what we call work early. He would meet you at the three-point line, and he would be fighting you, and you would post up probably like a step outside the three-point line. Like, he was really good at some of his techniques and how he was able to control the post. After Cliff left the game, I watched a lot of his tape, and I took a lot of his
no kidding.
I had to, because it was so effective against me that I was able to use it against other post players on the defensive end.
I never knew that story.
Dennis Rodman was another guy I watched a lot. Akeem Olajuwon I watched a lot, because these guys were laterally very similar to my makeup. Akeem Olajuwon was long. He was able to laterally move with you. I was laterally able to move with guards and able to laterally slide with some of the forwards and some of the more laterally gifted power forwards. And with that, able to get my feet together, being able to block shots, challenge the rim, stuff like that. Things that, if you're going to get better at something, you got to go and reach and find the great ones that did it before you and take it, and then I was able to apply it, and I did those things.
And he makes both free throws. And KG, 2 decades later, you still look the same. You don't age. You do not.
Listen,
age.
Man, listen, I wish I could use the Beyonce. I woke up like this, but actually I woke up like this and worked out some more, and then worked out a little more to look like this.
You look terrific.
You look great too, man.
Thank you.
Man, what's the secrets, man?
I'm following you, watching your advice.
Yeah, right. You've been doing this way, man. Ken, what year is this for you, seriously?
Broadcasting the NBA. 20 years and then 12 years with 2K.
You're a beast, man. You know what I love about 2K, man? To bring the best in for the best.
You
understand, my dude?
That's why we've got you. But Kevin, you played this game a lot, don't you? Man, especially when you were young.
Man, listen, man. 2K is it, bro. Hey, there's no other games out here. This is what it is. If you play basketball, if you online, nobody's playing nothing else. This is it.
Yeah.
2K is the cream of the crop. It's the gang. They know what it is. It's lit. They know what it is. Seriously, they got to do this. They know.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. Kevin, with intentional fouling, with poor free throw shooters being sent to the line currently, the Hacka Drummond, Hacka Shaq, I mean, all this stuff, Hacka DeAndre Jordan. What are your thoughts on all that?
You know what? I like it. You know what it's going to do? It's
part of the strategy?
It's going to put the strategy, and this is part of it. And you know what you got to do? It's going to make all those guys you just named work on their free throw. Because if any advantage that you have in the game, coaches are going to expose it. Coaches are going to expose all weak points as they should, as any sport, and as any great is going to expose any weaknesses in defenses. He's going to look to expose those things. So this is one of the things that dictates the game, and these guys are going to have to be better. It's going to push them. It's going to make them better players.
And that one falls for Smart. And when you watch Marcus Smart, you can see just how strong he can be on the defensive end. Why do you think, KG, he is such an impactful defender?
Marcus Smart, he rarely gambles. If you watch him play defense, he's very solid. He takes up space. You know, when these point guards now, they want to be able to have space to be able to create. He gives you one direction. You know what? He
anticipates well.
He anticipates well. More importantly, he's very smart. He understands the whistle. He understands hard fouls. He knows when to foul hard, when not to. And on the offensive end, too, he'll hit a three. He's a gutsy player. You know, on the defensive end, he'll take charges. He'll do little tangible stuff that a lot of guys won't do. Man, you need a smart on your team to do the small things if you're trying to really win.
And the smart things, right?
The smart things. Only you, K-Hard.
No, come on. I just got that from you. What are you talking about? You said it. I just
classic.
I just repeated right
classic
there.
2K. Classic 2K K-Hard right there. You lit, K. You lit.
Because I'm next to you.
You lit. I'm telling you, lit.
Come on.
Hey.
Kevin, you were so successful jumping from high school to pros. What do you think about the current situation now, the age of 19, the minimum to go to the draft?
You know, I'm always be a fan of the younger kids being able to have the opportunity. I don't like when you put parameters. I could see if college was really teaching these kids and really giving them a solid situation to be able to have something to defer to. But, you know, these kids are not learning at the rate that you would like them to learn in college. And plus, they're not staying in college to these great institutions to be able to apply some of the things they're learning. So I just think that
they're basketball players.
They're basketball players, but they should have the opportunity to take advantage of if you're able to play at 17, 18 like I was. I'm not saying that every kid's going to have that, but you have obviously the D-League. You have all these multiple leagues throughout the world and where kids go to play. You know, some kids have missed out just because of that 1 year and some mishaps. And you sit here, you can say, you know, for business is good for this. Listen, the business is what it's going to be. We need to develop and have these kids be professionals more than anything. We need to grow these kids from a skill level and an appetite level. Our game was built off for one to be better than the ones that's come before us. You know what I'm saying? When Lou Alcindor came in here, he was, a.k.a. obviously Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he was more encouraged to beat out Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell more than anything. And then that starts to trickle down from the effect of from Jordan wanting to be better than Larry Bird and Magic to Kobe wanting to be better than, you know, it's the same thing. It's being trickled down. And when I think of greatness, I think, you know, it's going to follow. It's going to be shadows, and at some point it's going to mimic.
And a wide open look for Irving. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. And it's 8 points for Kyrie Irving. New York's gotten both of their three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. Kevin, you accomplished everything individually as a teammate. Anything that you wish you would have done, any player that you wish you would have played with, any regret in that form that lingers with you in return?
No, nothing lingers. Obviously, you know, you sit back and think about, I would love to play with Kobe for a year, or you know, got to, you know, team at least play in the U.S.
You had a chance to. Wasn't there like a rumor at one time?
Yeah, it was.
Going to the Lakers?
My connection with Paul was just the opportunity when I waited. It's what it was. But, you know,
and you wouldn't have traded the Paul Pierce thing for anything?
No, I wouldn't have, because Paul and I are true brothers. The connection, and then the team, Ray, you know, my connection with Doe and then Doc and all that. So I wouldn't have given that up for anything. But if I could have played with one person, it probably would have been Cole. Summertime, I say USA because that's when you get to play with each other and all that, and you get to kind of beat up on everybody else and be USA or whatever. So that would have been super fun. But it's all good. Shout to Mama, you know what it is. But I have no regrets, man. I left everything on the floor. I enjoy watching the game more than ever now, dog. I'm not even going to front. I enjoy having my popcorn, my little ritual, my boys, and we sit back and we watch the game and loving the game.
Yeah. All on the play, basket count, so it'll be a three-point play chance. Kevin, especially back in Minnesota, you have some Hall of Fame battles with a guy named Tim Duncan. Talk about what those games, what those matchups were like.
Timmy, man. Timmy's very crafty, man. Our battles used to be just, especially as young guys, man. Young guys trying to establish themselves in a gritty league at the time, full of some older, dominant names at the time. Michael Jordan, Elijah Malone. You know, the time where the forward position was a very, very tough position. But Timmy was one of them ones, man. Used angles very well, was very long, had a lot of counters, very strong, and had an inner beast that people really didn't really talk about because you didn't really necessarily hear or see it. But man, Timmy's one of the best, man. It's not by coincidence. He's one of the ones.
That free throw good from Kyrie Irving. Kevin, you were a mainstay All-Star Week. You've seen everything there. If it were up to you, would you make any changes in All-Star Week in the events and the way everything is kind of carried out? You went to so many.
I have. And you know what? Each city gives you a true essence of its own identity. I would like to see each city get a chance to host, regardless of if it's big enough or not. I think that each city has the ability to host. I think each city...
if you're with the family, then you should be able to host in the family, right?
Well, not only that, but just think about what All-Star is, man. It's an event. It's a family event. And each city wants to be able to show you their best thing about their city.
The Knicks have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances.
Yeah, and 79% from the line as a team a season ago. Pretty reliable in that regard.
Free throw, no good. And the second free throw, good. Here's Irving. Last time out, he had 13 points. And people may not know, KG, that you're not just a broadcaster for 2K, but you're a member of the 2K community.
Have you been keeping up with the community, man?
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Man, listen, shout out to all the 2K players out there. I'm Jizzle Lord. Y'all know what it is. I'm Jizzle Lord 5. Shout out to my OBF team. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to Dex. Shout out to Bug. Shout out to everybody out there playing. Wow. Right, we definitely.
Wow.
It's all good. You know, I'm OBF. I'm about the team. I'm gang. You know what it is. Jizzle Lord, y'all holler at me. Y'all know what it is, 2K. Right.
Kevin, some of the relatively new rules protecting players, the breakaway, the flagrant 1, the flagrant 2. Are you in favor of all this stuff?
I'm in favor for players' health. You know, anything that is going to be detrimental to a player's health, I feel like the player's health is the first and only obligation. That's all I've ever worried about. You know, foul play, I think every player should always understand it's a way to foul. It's a way to be able to, send a message. But in the heat of the moment, I get it. You know, things happen. But just I hope that all players out there will continue to, to care about and respect the game.
One shot.
Kevin, we know how hard the players work, the elite players work, the hardest. We know the coaches work so hard. Everyone in that coaching staff, everyone wants the game called right. Is an added referee something that would help the game in any way, do you think?
More eyes on it.
We got 3 right now.
Listen, that's a lot,
That
man.
is a lot.
And we're yelling at those 3. Listen, more eyes on the prize, if you will, so be it. It's just about how the game is. You want referees to be consistent. You want referees to also let the guys play a little bit. That's just my preference. I'm not a league official, nor do I know flow and momentum. I'm just talking from a fan perspective and watching it.
Yes.
But, as a player, find things to complain about because that's what a player does when it comes to advantage versus disadvantage. But 4th ref, I don't think it would hurt. To me, it would be about how they were calling it.
Nice shot by Porzingis.
And without looking at the scoreboard, you think they were the team trailing and trying to fight their way back.
Now here's Smart. He's coming off a 13-point game against the 76ers in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and his offense fueled him on D2. He was more than a handful on that end, piling up the steals.
5 on the clock. Tatum, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Tatum's got 10 points.
Yeah, Tatum does not give up on the backboard. Outstanding timing in terms of when to leap for those offensive rebounds.
Kuzminskis, no good.
He hasn't been his best this quarter.
Irving for 3. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. And that's now 17 points for Kyrie Irving. Great to have you with us, KG, and lightning experience. Come back and join us sometime, okay?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it anytime.
You were terrific. You were terrific. You were great.
K-Hall, you always make me look good, man. Since 95, man. We've been doing this a long time, my dude.
Great to see you.
Thank you, dog.
I'll tell you, Greg, there may not have been a more passionate player in this league than Kevin Garnett. What a treat to have him join us, huh?
Yeah, the energy he would bring night in and night out is similar to what he brought here tonight. You can hear it in his voice. Just he still has that excitement and passion for the game.
Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Tatum. And New York with a change here, too. Baker's checked in. Boston trailing.
If they play it right, we're talking a 2-for-1.
Exactly, but you still want a decent look because if you miss, the strategy doesn't help.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time, and he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one, that's for sure.
You're right, they are precise in how they ran that play. Exceptional timing, that's all good stuff.
And a foul called on the shot, got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
The Knicks have been getting it done at the line, 10 for 12. And he knocks down the first one.
Well, after getting to the stripe in the first quarter, he's definitely been more assertive driving inside.
And some changes here for the Celtics. Marcus Morris is checked in for Horford. Jaylen Brown comes in for Smart. And it's Rozier in for Irving. And the Knicks making a change here as well. Carmelo Anthony is checked in for Hardaway. So he gets them both.
His free throw ability makes him tough to defend in the post. Teams can't get too physical with him.
Here's Rozier. He's coming off a 13-point game against the 76ers in Philadelphia. The screen from Brown. A shot by Hayward, wide open, and again, Boston with the triple.
That's just another one for Hayward. He's built up his body. Now he has the strength and endurance to score at will.
So it's Gordon Hayward making things happen for Boston. And of everything he's doing well, it's his scoring that you point to first. Already 22 points in this game. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Brad Stevens. Coach, what did you think of your team's energy in the first half?
I think the energy's fine. I thought we did look a little gassed at the end of that first stint for some of our starters, but I thought for the most part it was good.
Thanks very much, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. Gordon Hayward has been all over the floor tonight. He ended up with 22 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. Some great work from him in the first 2 quarters. Kenny, what's your take on Boston so far?
Well, so far, they've taken care of their business here at home. It's something you might expect, but it's not a given. We'll see if they can keep that up in the second half.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on New York?
Well, I love that they were forceful at their offensive end. They got the shots they wanted. They played aggressively and got to the line. A strong attacking mindset. I like it. We'll see if they bring the same attitude in the second half, though.
That's it for halftime. Glad you could join us, as now we send you back to the action for the start of the third quarter.
A lot going on there as we welcome you back to Boston. That shot taken from the observation deck at the Prudential Center. And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. Really an incredible game from Gordon Hayward.
And through the first 2 periods, it seemed he got to the paint whenever he wanted to. Just a slasher's mentality.
Yeah, when you're trying to check a guy like that, you have to move your feet laterally, defensively. That didn't happen.
Well, Chris, we often ask you who the best power forwards are right now. Let's switch it up. Who do you feel is the best true center in the league right now?
Well, I think you have to look at DeAndre Jordan and defensively what he does, and then maybe go down to Detroit and look at Drummond or Mark Gasol and how he can step back now, shoot the 3 and post you up. But to me, it's a no-brainer if we're talking centers, and maybe he's even a power forward. But I got to go with DeMarcus Cousins. He's a 7-footer that can score outside, inside, knock down free throws with consistency, 3-pointers with consistency, post you up like an old-school player, and then hit you with some new-school moves. He's something special to watch.
Embiid is intriguing as well, I think.
You have to love Embiid. He's a new school type player too that is so agile, so versatile. You have to love his work ethic, his patience, the big process, and most importantly, I love his personality. It's great for the game. It grows the game. How can you not love this young kid? And hopefully he can stay healthy enough to show us all the great things that he has.
On the court for the Knicks, Hardaway Jr. and Melo are the wings. Porzingis and Hernan Gomez are together down low. And it's Ntilikina in at the point. And the first one drops.
And coming out of the offseason where the Knicks had a really long to-do list, you knew they were going to shake things up and made some moves in free agency and realized they needed to build around Porzingis going forward.
Both free throws good from Kyrie Irving. And change was needed badly for the Knicks, and they did that starting with the front office.
Yeah, Knicks fans can have a dire outlook at times, but the team still has a solid foundation. It will take some time for the team to become a true contender again, but having players not be at odds with the front office, definitely a good start.
And the action on hold as it appears there's been an injury. Yep, he's definitely in a bad way out there right now. Tough to see.
And boy, this really doesn't look good. Just the way it happened.
I'm not a doctor, but nothing about that play screams minor injury. Obviously, this could be a real concern.
Lee's checked in for the Knicks. Second half just getting started. About a minute played. In the corner, Horford with it. He tries for three. Doesn't go for him. The Knicks shooting at 48% from the floor. Looking good. Pass to Ntilikina. Outside Hardaway. They set the pick. 6 to shoot. Floats one up. Second shot opportunity, and it's good on the way in. Hardaway has got his first bucket in this one.
Well, that's just a great start to the half for them. Their offense is clicking, and they have made 3 of their first 4 shots.
Irving from long range. They get the rebound. Porzingis with the block.
And with his length, Porzingis can be very disruptive on D. Not easy to get the shot off over that huge frame.
Now here's Porzingis. 18 points for him. Irving with the steal. And now running up the court, Hayward's pushing it up. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
With a guy as strong as Smart, tough to contain him without fouling. If you play straight up and down, he'll go right through you.
And the 6th pick in the 2014 draft out of Oklahoma State, one of the Cowboys, Marcus Smart, might not put up eye-popping numbers, Chris, but they love what he brings to the table.
Yeah, it's all about his heart. I mean, his offensive game has been a little slow to develop. He doesn't shoot great percentages. But when his team needs him most, it seems like he always has a big impact on the game, whether offensively, defensively, a big rebound. He's just a good luck charm for them. He's almost like the leprechaun.
First one falls for him. And at 6'4", 220, Marcus Smart with terrific strength for a combo guard, Greg.
I mean, he can just flat out bully most guards and even hold his own against the bigs. Beyond, though, that physical stature, it's his mentality that makes him special. He's a fire breather, just the type of player the Celtics look for.
And so, Smart nails both of them.
At 6'4", 220 pounds, Marcus Smart might be the most physically imposing point guard in the league, especially with his fiery approach to the game.
And Hardaway gets it to go.
And you gotta love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grinded-out game.
Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Here's Irving. Herman Gomez grabs the miss. Hernan Gomez has got 6 rebounds in the game.
Well, they look a step slow on offense out there. Can't seem to pull the lid off that basket so far in this first half.
Baker kicks to Lee. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Passes to Baker. Here's Hernan Gomez. Covered by Irving. The pass to Baker. They set the pick. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Great D that time from Irving. The Celtics have gone 0-4 from the field in the second half. Yet to find the mark. Smart wide open. He fires. Nice shot from the wing. Smart's got it all tied up now for Boston. Baker kicks to Porzingis. Releases. Gets that one through the hole. Make him now 7 of 13 in this game.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
Yeah, but here's the problem. They play team ball. So if you pay him too much attention, that just leaves other guys open, and it's too difficult of an adjustment to make.
And you can tell the defender not anticipating the step back. He was headed in the opposite direction.
There's Baker. He's covered by Irving. Baker passes to Porzingis. Off the pick.
And talk about putting some extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space. Picked by Horford. Irving for three. Another miss by Irving.
He's been unlucky this half after lighting up the perimeter in the first half.
Lee lays it up and banks it in. Now it's a 4-point Knicks lead.
And when Lee has the ball there, it's over. He's going up for the throwdown every time.
Horford with the screen on Hardaway. Here's Smart. He got right to the cup using that screen. Smart's got 6 points in the quarter.
He has a little bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the limb.
Well, let's just call it what it is. Great body control in the lane. Takes the contact. Still knocks it in softly off the glass. I mean, that shot just can't be blocked the way he adjusted.
A different look for New York. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Hernan Gomez. And it's Kyle O'Quinn in for Porzingis. Smart kicks to Irving. Again, the Celtics good for two.
And what I like is that Irving is a confident scorer. Even amongst the trees, he finds a way to score the ball.
Okay, time now for an injury report. Now let's get an injury update on Carmelo Anthony from our David Aldridge. David?
Thanks, Kevin. I just talked with the Knicks head athletic trainer. The word is he has strained his Achilles tendon. A really discouraging development for this team at such an early point in the season. We'll see how they respond, Kevin.
David, thanks for the great update, guys. It doesn't sound good.
No, if that report is accurate, he's going to be spending a lot of time in rehab and on the sideline.
Yeah, and given how hard he's worked, you know how frustrated he must be. Difficult blow to overcome for him and for his team.
Here's Irving following the score by New York. Smart misses. Outside Hardaway. Out to the wing. Here's Baker. Offensive rebound. O'Quinn. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot. O'Quinn's got 6 points. Outside Irving. Noah with the block. They recover it. Morris with the bucket.
You really admire how fierce Morris is on the glass. He never gives up on keeping the next possession alive.
Noah the screen. Lee kicks it to Noah. Pass to Baker. Lets the three fly. Tries again. And Noah with the layup. And the Knicks lead by 4.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Outside Irving. Morris outside. Again the miss by Morris.
All the time in the world to get that one off.
Well, and the Celtics bringing in Brad Stevens as head coach in 2013. That same summer, they made their blockbuster trade with the Nets. 2 home run moves for their franchise.
Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And they pick up 2. 24 points for Gordon Hayward.
Look at Irving go to work off the ball screen and his man. He's always alert, constantly scanning the floor for his teammates.
And the Celtics signed Brad Stevens to a 6-year contract to lure him away from Butler in college basketball. Chris, they were very confident he'd be a great coach.
Well, they might want to pull out their pen and have him sign another 6-year deal real quick because he's already established himself as one of the league's top coaches.
Now here's Smart. 8 points for him. Picked by Horford. On its way from Irving for 2. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
Okay, I'm telling you, when Irving is feeling it, you got to keep feeding him the ball. He's an incredible, versatile scorer.
Lee outside. Pass to Baker. Outside Hardaway. New York moving the ball around. And it's good, 2 points. O'Quinn's got 10.
This score will be very different without his offense. He's been terrific.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
And the Celtics trade for Kyrie Irving, sending shockwaves back in August. Never before had a pair of 25-point-per-game scorers swap teams in the offseason. That's what you call a blockbuster. And no doubt Irving and IT, both elite offensive weapons. But Irving, 6 inches taller, perhaps more defensive upside, and 3 years younger. The Celtics feel he fits their timeline.
Some changes for Boston. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Horford. Brown comes in for Gordon Hayward. And Terry Rozier subbed in for Kyrie Irving. And then for New York, Kuzminskis comes in for Courtney Lee. And it's Ntilikina in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Here's Rozier. 5 on the clock. Here's Morris. And he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot. 8 points for him.
Kevin, you can see that Morris is a real student of the game, knowing exactly where to be off the screen.
Here's Ntilikina. The pass to Baker. Kuzminskis kicks to O'Quinn. Pass to Kuzminskis. Here's Baker. They get it back.
Nice tip in there. I mean, he's got like a sixth sense in terms of where the miss is going to go. That is really a talent.
Now here's Smart. 8 points for him. Pass to Rozier for 3. It's rebounded by New York. Noah's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Kuzminskis. Noah kicks to Baker. Back to Noah. Noah the screen. Here's Kuzminskis. His 3-pointers off the mark. Celtics trailed by 4. 1:56 left in the third quarter of the game. Smart misses.
Look, it would be a huge boost for them if he could start knocking these down.
Pass to Ntilikina. Tries a 3. Knocks down the 3 ball. Ntilikina's got the lead up to 7 now for the Knicks.
Ntilikina continues to impress from deep. He's definitely showing he's comfortable shooting it from beyond.
Here's Baines. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Yeah, coming off of a good pick, you want to get that when he gets the separation he needs. I know he would love to have that one back.
Ntilikina can't hit. And the Celtics shooting right around 42% from the field since the start of the second half. Now here's Smart. He's guarded closely. 3-pointer. Gets the 3-pointer to fall. Smart's got 9 points in the quarter.
It looked as if he would never find his game after that awful first half start, but he's really hitting his stride in the second.
Here's Kuzminskis. Good, and a nice assist from Noah. Kuzminskis has got the lead back up to 7 now for the Knicks.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Rozier, the pass to Baines. To the paint. 9 feet out. And off the front iron, and in it goes. That's 10 points for Marcus Morris.
And since halftime, he has been a different player.
Kicks to O'Quinn. 27 seconds left in the third. Picked by O'Quinn. Shoots a 3. Baker, no good.
A frustrating start to this quarter for him.
Here's Rozier. He dishes it to Brown. Here's Smart. And there are the Celtics with another basket.
And that's how you build confidence in your shot. Smart, able to set his feet off the catch and shoot.
We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Knicks lead by 3. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. And meanwhile, Coach Brad Stevens talking to his team.
Hey, bottom line is, good things are going to happen, bad things are going to happen. How you respond is the biggest key. Let's go.
And Brad Stevens moments ago focusing on what they can do now rather than worrying about what's already happened.
Yeah, and this is all you can do. Put all of your energy into this moment. The past, the future, they don't matter.
All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. We've got Marcus Morris on out there with Rozier. Then it's Aaron Baines, and it's Tatum in at the 3. That's the Boston 5. Here's Rozier. He nails it, and we're tied up. Rozier's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Celtics.
Oh, beautiful looking 3-ball from Rozier, really expanding his range.
Outside Hardaway. Pass to Ntilikina. Hernan Gomez kicks to Hardaway. Shot clock at 5. Here's Ntilikina. Knocks down the 3-ball. And the Knicks lead by 3.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
And I love it, Greg. Both sides inflicting damage from the perimeter. We'll see how the defense is adjusting.
Count it. Good. Rozier's got 5 points now this quarter.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Pass to Hernan Gomez. Here's Kuzminskas. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Hardaway kicks to Porzingis. New York moving the ball around. Here's Ntilikina. And the miss, not the best shot selection there. Basket here gets them back in front.
And it's been a long time coming, partner.
Irving, good.
Irving, just an exceptional scorer, so effortless. You got to appreciate his shooting.
Here's Ntilikina. Outside Hardaway. Pass to Ntilikina. There's a good screen. And here is Hernan Gomez. From deep. It's hauled in by Brown. And it's Baines in the corner. Porzingis against Morris. There's Brown with the 3. Knicks with the rebound. Hernan Gomez has got rebound number 8 now on the night. Kuzminskas the pass to Hardaway. Out of bounds, Boston takes possession. Al Horford is checked in for the Celtics. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Here's Rozier. Horford with a screen on Hardaway. And the basket by Rozier. Rozier's got 8 points in the quarter.
A fantastic shot by Rozier. I mean, exactly the kind of shot you want him taking when he's got space.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
He gets it in there. Boston's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Picked by Horford. Irving kicks to Rozier. Back to Irving. 6 on the shot clock. From the stripe, Hernan Gomez grabs the miss. Hernan Gomez has got 9 rebounds now tonight. To the middle, here's Ntilikina, and he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the quickness of Ntilikina. I think that part of his game is underrated. He just has that quiet confidence about his abilities, and he has shown a little bit of explosiveness at getting to the rim.
And so it's Boston with it. The Knicks making the shot, and he gets it back. Another shot. Here's Horford. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
A very concerted effort on Horford's part to bully his way inside and draw contact there. He needs to do more of that. Play inside, get tough.
And Al Horford, a cornerstone player. Chris, he's that straw that certainly stirs the drink.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you know he's a winner. I mean, anybody can remember his career from his days at the University of Florida where he won a championship.
Free throw dropped for Al Horford. And one strength, Greg, that this Knicks team has enjoyed the last couple of years has been their ability to win the rebounding game.
And that's back-to-back seasons, Kevin, in the top 10 for rebounding in terms of the Knicks. And it was something they wanted to improve upon starting a few years ago. They've changed their rebounding trouble into a big asset moving forward.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2.
And he gives them the lead. Successful trip, despite the 1 miss.
And it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession.
So close to getting the steal there, but the deflection equally as effective.
Oh, man, yeah, he read it all the way. He got a jump on it. Very close.
Here's Ntilikina, covered by Irving. Over in the quarter, Porzingis. 6 on the shot clock.
Oh, it's such a disciplined defender. I mean, Horford with the mobility to get to the right spot and put his size to use.
And guys, here in the fourth quarter, still a close game.
Instant classic, fellas. This one could come right down to the last shot.
Morris a screen. Horford dishes to Brown. Yes, that goes in. And the Celtics lead by 1.
And how about the grit and determination in the post? I mean, essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Lee outside. Rebound Boston. They've led by as much as 10. Brown the pass to Irving. He feeds it to Horford. Over Hernan Gomez. Horford no luck. The Knicks have gotten just under 45% of their attempts to drop in the fourth. 4 of 9. Hardaway against Hayward. They set the screen. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And Tim Hardaway Jr., the son of a former all-star point guard. Junior, not maybe the same ball handler his father was, but he can sure fill it up. And I really feel like he's established his niche in the NBA.
Two shots.
And he makes the first. And Hardaway Jr., a 6'6" shooting guard out of Michigan. Talk about his game a little bit for us, Greg. Analyze where he is.
Above average in terms of his athletic ability. improving defensively, and right now he's playing off the ball, whether spotting up or filling the lane. I think this guy's got a chance to be special. He's passionate, and boy, does he compete.
Hardaway hits them both. And the Celtics building a new 70,000 square foot practice facility. They'll call it the Auerbach Center.
Oh, yeah, very impressive. Set to open this spring. The Celtics, one of those forward-thinking organizations. I'm not surprised to see them investing in their creative development.
The Knicks with the lead. And now the fast break. Thomas with the ball. Buries the jumper to finish the break. Oh, boy, looks like he was injured there.
Yeah, it looks like he's in real pain. Definitely a concern right now.
Oh, that's a tough blow for him. Really the whole team, though. I mean, puts a lot of pressure on the next man up.
Boston making a switch here. Rozier's checked in. And New York with a change here, too. Joakim Noah's checked in for Thomas. Now Smart. Morris outside. Horford up top. Over Hernan Gomez. That's good from Horford on the assist by Morris.
And that's what Horford can open things up for the whole team offensively. I mean, that's where he can. Off the catch and shoot, bottoms up.
Porzingis kicks to Hardaway. Pass to Ntilikina. New York moving the ball around. Just 5 on the clock. Hardaway passes to Hernan Gomez. Offensive rebound. Porzingis lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Porzingis has got 24 points. Celtics trail by 3. Rozier kicks to Hayward. Picked by Horford. And Hayward gets it to go. 26 points for him.
Yeah, that's careless defense, though. I mean, he's one player you could ill afford to let run free. He just loves to be a money player in the fourth quarter.
Now here's Porzingis over Morris. Porzingis can't hit. Noah against Hayward. And there's the feed to Horford. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
He's been blazing hot to begin this half after looking utterly lost during the first. Nice turnaround.
And there had been a will he or won't he feeling with Gordon Hayward's free agency. Tough choice, I got to believe, for him to leave Utah, but you can see why he wanted to join forces here with the Celtics.
The Celtics making a switch here. Brown's checked in. And Boston was the heavy favorite to sign Gordon Hayward, and ultimately the opportunity was just too hard to pass up.
And he's reunited with his college coach, Brad Stevens. This team has a great path to make a deep playoff run, and this just adds another star to a very balanced roster.
Here's Brown, following the basket by Kristaps Porzingis. This is to Smart. Back to Brown. Just 5 to shoot. Hit some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. And the Celtics lead by 2.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Here's the screen, and taken away by Brown. Hayward on the wing. Horford sets a screen for Hayward. No good from the wing.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Well, I'd love to hear his explanation of coach right there. I mean, that should be an interesting conversation.
And taken away by Brown. Jumps up, and Hayward at the stuff.
How about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Well, guys, if you're the other team, you now have to find a way to answer back. Can't afford to give up too much momentum.
Moment here now for an injury report. Let's get an update on Irving. What's the status, David?
Well, guys, I had a minute to catch up with the Celtics head athletic trainer. They checked out his foot, and it appears he may have sprained his toe on that play. He won't play any further tonight, obviously, and will be out for quite a while. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, thanks for checking in and letting us know how he's doing.
And let's just hope that he doesn't have any setbacks during his recovery.
Fingers crossed, and hopefully it's nothing but good news from now on when David gives us updates on it.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
And how about the explosiveness he shows, going from the offensive to the defensive end in a blink?
Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Noah.
One shot.
Well, Chris, you can't shortchange this roster, but their coach, Brad Stevens, one of the best in the game.
Well, you remember his 6 years at Butler? He took them to the title game twice. I mean, what he's done with this team is no less impressive.
Kept alive, and again, it's Gordon Hayward. Hayward's got 6 in the quarter.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
Here's Ntilikina. Outside, Porzingis. He kicks it to O'Quinn. Deflects the pass. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And Ntilikina, he possesses that unselfishness that really allows his guys to play their best basketball. You got to love his approach.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. Blue shots.
First free throw is good.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
Rozier, he's checked in for Boston. He's perfect from the line this time. The Celtics with the lead. Smart with the ball. Moore as a screen. Smart misses.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Here's Ntilikina. And the pass to Porzingis. To take the lead. And the layup is good. Porzingis has got 31. Boy, right down to the wire here. Still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, and after all the energy both sides have expended, both teams still hungry for the win.
No problems knocking that one down. That's now 32 points for Gordon Hayward.
Oh, nice look there from Smart, finding the open man.
New York's gotten some tough luck from three-point range. In the fourth quarter, they've hit just 1 of 6 from deep. Outside, Porzingis. Over Horford. Porzingis can't hit. Austin's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Hayward kicks to Horford. It's stolen by Hernan Gomez. Hardaway with it. Now guarded by Smart.
gentlemen, 2 shots. Blue shots.
Gets the first, and that ties the game up. And New York making a change here. Randall's checked in. Second free throw, no good. A tough break there.
He's upset he missed on a chance to give them the lead, but he evens things up.
New York shooting it well here in the fourth quarter, 50%. New York moving the ball around. Off the screen. Porzingis can't hit. The Celtics shooting 55% in the fourth. They are executing late. 54 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Hayward outside. Three-pointer. Hins the three.
Now, that is cold-blooded.
Oh, we want people to tune in, don't we? This is what they're tuning into. Big moments.
New York calls timeout. They're trailing by 3. There's 45 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Gordon Hayward.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
Sessions checked in for the Knicks. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, here's the summary of what Jeff Hornacek went over with his guys during the break. He really got after him in the huddle. He said, look, you can rest after the game. You got to put it all out there if you want to win this one. Back to you guys.
Take a break. 2 shots.
Good on the first, and that brings them within 2 here. Lee's checked in for Sessions. And he makes both free throws.
When the score is close, you want this guy on the line.
absolutely critical chance right here.
They need this one to go their way.
Picked by Horford. Rozier kicks to Hayward. And again, Boston with the triple.
But this final period, they are putting up a ton of shots from deep.
Stacks and stacks and stacks. They're looking to stack up some points. They've gotten into a nice groove from out there.
Here's Ntilikina. Left side, Porzingis. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Horford. New York calls timeout. They're down by 4. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And they're going to have to score. Quick foul. Can't waste any time here.
Well, it's a lot to talk about in this huddle. They'll also have to decide who they'll want to foul.
Nineteen seconds left in the game. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Here's Ntilikina. Porzingis passes to Hardaway. Off target from three-point range. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
5 seconds left in the fourth. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Yeah, tough break for him there. But they'd have a tough time coming back from this deficit no matter who's on the floor.
He drops the first one, and that puts them up by 5. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 6-point ball game.
Now that's what I call cool under fire. Those should be the nails in the coffin.
Hernan Gomez. It's off. And so it's the Boston Celtics with the W. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, but I really got a sense that the fans gave them that emotional boost that was needed down the stretch. This crowd, man, they were electric.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. With Kyrie Irving, it's early in the season, so what's the most important thing to getting off on the right foot?
Great days of practice, honestly, and being prepared. Always communicating and trusting each other. That's going to be the biggest word for us this year is trust. Like I said, consistency and trust.
We will see. It's a long season if you can get that done, Kyrie. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.